lab SL1. This lab will be putting down a framing plan as well as the bar joists. But before we begin to do that, we need to calculate which bar joist we'll be using. So our loading conditions are for level 2, it's 50 pounds per square foot live load with a dead load of 50 pounds per square foot as well. And the bar joist spacing is at 4 feet. And the way to determine which bar joist you need is you need to calculate what the loading is per linear foot. And so if our span is 15 feet and these are the bar joists, and the spacing's 4 feet each, what we need to do is take the 100 pounds per square foot times the 4 feet on center, and so that's the loading for this uh, load per linear foot on this beam or bar joist. Then we take that information and go to our table and looking at um, the span of 15 feet, and we come across, and to support the 400 pounds, so that's 4 times 100, 400 pounds per linear foot, we need this value here to be greater than the 400. So anything above to the right here will support it, but you want to go with this bar joist that has the least weight, and in this instance it's this one at 5 pounds per linear foot, and so that's the 12K one. And then for the roof, we have a live load of 40 pounds per square foot and a dead load of 20 pounds per square foot. And again, we're at 15 feet, so that's 60 pounds per square foot times the 5-foot spacing, so that's 300 pounds per linear foot. And so looking at the stable, 15 pounds or 15 feet span come across, and what this value here is greater than 300 we're needing, and so the bar joist we need is the 10K one at the roof. Some few things you should know before we get into drawing the frame plan. Some items that when we lay out the beams, this first section here is this detail, and this section 2, is the detail to the right. And because the depth of bar joist, first is the depth of the floor, which is 5 inches, and then the seat bearing height is 2.5 inches, which is this little portion of the bar joist. And so when we lay the beam that's going east-west, we want the top of it to be 7.5 inches below the finished floor elevation. And for the beams going in the north-south direction, because we want the top of it at the same elevation as the bar joist, that is only 5 inches below the finished floor elevation. And a couple of other things we'll be setting up when we put the bar joist in is this end extension is the amount that passes the grid line. So with that said, let's start a new project. So we go, let me start connect. Okay, so start a new project, and we'll use the structural template. And let's close that for now. So now we got a new, opened up a new template from structural. First thing we want to do is lay the grid. So we select grid and draw first grid in, and use the pick line tool, and we'll offset these are 20 feet. And then we'll go back to the draw tool, change the offset back to 0. Rename this to A, and then offset those 15 feet. Because we're going to have an opening in this bay on the second level, we'll want to create another grid off of the um, grid B, and that's off 5 feet. And we'll rename that B.1. So that's our grid, and now let's check our levels. Go to the south elevation, bring these in. And level 2 is 14 feet. And then we could offset this another 14 to make our roof level. Now, if your lines don't extend the roof level here, if you go to the roof plan, you'll see that none of the grids show. But if you go back to this elevation and extend that up, and go back to our roof plan, you'll see that those grids show. So now we gotta extend the grid going east-west past the roof level so we could see it on the roof plan. And if we go back to the roof plan, now we could see all our grids there. So now we're gonna begin. So that's the end of task 1.